Hi there, and welcome to our magical little corner of YouTube where we like to talk about witchcraft, paganism, spirituality, and occasionally a book review. Today we are going to be doing the Happy Witch tag, which was created by fellow YouTube creator Kelly-Ann Maddox. She has a book coming out soon called Rebel Witch. Cannot wait to buy it and review it on this channel, but that's a video for the future. I will have her tagged video and channel linked down below in the description box along with the questions from this video. So if you want to do your own tag, if you want to put it on Instagram, tag me in it. I've got all my socials down below too. So let me see what your answers are. Heads up, I did not write down my answers for these questions, so I'm kind of going to be going off the cuff a bit. I wanted it to feel a bit more organic, but I also wanted to have a good pace to it. So I'm just going to be answering with the first thing that pops into my head. Just keep that in mind. So this might get a little bit all over the place. So our first question is, what makes you happiest about the fact that you're a witch? So, okay, the thing that makes me happiest is that pretty much everything in my life has a spiritual higher meaning to it. So that first sip of water in the morning, it's cool, it's waking me up, I can like feel it, it's, woo, love that. Washing my hair turns into a cleansing moment where I'm getting all of that gunk, all those smells, all that energy out of my hair, which I need to do, hence why it's up in a cute little ponytail today. I mean, even reading, like it's reading for fun, but at the same time, I'm learning something and I can put it into practice. I guess you could really do that with anything. My plants, like whenever I'm watering my plants and setting them out in the sun, I'm looking down at them right now, a couple of them. It's like I feel as though I'm literally nourishing them. And I mean, even that with food, I can see my food as a type of magic, literally just everything. Whenever I'm out for my walks and I walk by and I touch the plant, it's just like me getting back attuned with the earth. Oh, love it. All right, question number 2. Which practice do you tend to enjoy most in your witchcraft and why? So my favorite practice would have to be candle magic. I really enjoy being able to stare into the flame, see that as my intention, use it as a way to empower the magic that I'm doing. For me, candle magic just makes a lot of sense. And it's something that I can like really quickly get linked into. Sorry for the snapping. For me, meditation doesn't come as easily. It's getting a lot better for sure, but I've never had an issue meditating in the dark with like a candle flame, and it's just, I feel like that empowers my spells so much. So definitely candle magic has got to be my favorite practice. Number 3, I'm going to read this off the computer because it's a little bit long and I don't want to get the wording wrong. How have you changed in positive ways as the result of practicing the craft? For me, this one has to be being honest about my beliefs. I've talked about this again in another video. I'll link it up in the cards. I have always felt as though I needed to put on a front and force myself to be Christian. Being able to be honest about being non-Christian at all in any way, any other form of spirituality or religious belief practice, has been so freeing. I feel like I'm finally embodying myself because I'm not having to work with the preconceived notions and the preconceived beliefs of Christianity. Whenever you're growing up in the US, in the South, at least whenever I was growing up, I don't know if it's different now, I haven't lived there in over a decade. I mean, it's going to be assumed that you're Christian. For sure, like flat out. And they ask you what church you go to pretty much as soon as they meet you. The way that practicing witchcraft actually helps out with that is that through the years of studying and believing these things, actually practicing it has given me the confidence to be like, yes, this is who I am. Yes, I know what I'm doing. Am I successful all the time? Absolutely not. but I have like this confidence in myself in order to be out and about on my spiritual beliefs. That was not the case for such a long time. And now that I've made it a practice, I've made it a part of who I am, then I can be honest about that. And it allows other people to feel comfortable talking to me about it as well. I have found so many friends of mine that actually agree and are witchy as well, or pagan or spiritual or whatever, and I would have never known it if I didn't post about it. Question number 4, I'm also going to read off because it's a little bit long. What has been the most positive result you have had from a spell or ritual? Oh goodness. I'm just going to give a general answer to this, and I'll caveat and say why in general practicing spellcraft has given me more confidence, and it has allowed me to fine-tune the way that I like to do my magic, and also the pieces, the tools of the craft that I actually do like to work with. So I'm just going to use that as a general answer. I don't really like to share my spell work. Like, I've shared a couple of things. I just don't like giving details, basically. Like, I'll do like a general thing, but I don't like giving details because the spell work that I do is very, very personal, and I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I do spells for people who did not ask for them. They are always positive and they are always supportive and not like trying to force something on the person that they otherwise wouldn't want. It's just always supporting efforts that they already, it's basically like whenever a Christian says, I'm praying for you, I'm doing a spell for you. Like, that's basically how it works. Not everyone agrees with that. That is fine. That is your ethics. My ethics is, as long as you are doing spell work that supports what someone already wants, then you don't really need to ask them about it. And I'm not forcing anything, and I'm not doing anything like evil. And I always include like a caveat in the spells for that too, that like, if this is going to be harmful, like, just let it not, like, block it. Like, I always call in a lot of help, and I'm like, look, let this do the best good. And that's pretty much what so mote it be means anyway. I hardly ever use that terminology. I feel like it's very Wiccan. It doesn't align with me. Anyways, next question. Number 5. How has your craft enriched the lives of others? This is kind of hard because it feels like a little bit of a humble brag, but I can use this one and I feel confident about it. So I feel like me being in my spirituality, experiencing witchcraft, playing around with that, experimenting, and the whatnot, it's kind of empowered my husband to think about his own spiritual beliefs and to start trying to, I like, define them as the wrong word, but like get in touch with his spiritual side. That's the best way. It's inspired my husband to get in touch with his spiritual side, which, I mean, not everyone needs that. I'm not going to say that everyone does. But it is something that he and I had neglected for a really long time, and he's starting to like figure out that it's something that he does want to bring into his life. If you hear scratching, that is my cat. He is on his scratch post and he just jumped off. Number 6, what are you most looking forward to trying in your craft and why? I made an entire video about this called My Witchy Bucket List. I will have it linked above. Okay, so let's focus in on one thing. Alright, I'll dive into it. The first thing that was on my witchy bucket list, because I really want to do this. I want to perform ritual skyclad. I want to be naked in my birthday suit with nothing but the moonlight on me. There you go. That's what I am most excited about. I feel so free whenever I am just unclothed. Don't know why. I absolutely hate the way that my body looks with clothes on. Love the way that my body looks when it's naked. I'm like, this is how you were meant to be. But I do have a professional 9-to-5 job where I sometimes have to get on webcam. So I have to put on clothes. Unfortunately. That, and I like having our big windows open and the neighbors can see straight in. So whenever we're having dance parties in the living room in here, neighbors are a part of it. That's fine by me. What do you like the most about the witchy community, online and or offline? I think this one like links back to an earlier question. The thing that I like best about the witchy community is just being able to be yourself. Now, obviously there are some people who are a little bit judgy, who do things that I don't agree with, and I just like distance myself from them, and like I don't go back. But for the most part, like as soon as I meet someone who I have met in one of the witchy or pagan Facebook groups, that's usually how I meet people in my local area, is through those Facebook groups. I can like walk in there and just be my normal self. Like I don't feel as though I have to put on like my customer service face and voice first, and I may still do that just out of habit because I do have a long history of social phobia. I just feel like I can be myself around them, which is amazing. Oh, and I'm going to add this one on there. They are helpful. Like they want to share information with you. They are the biggest group of learners and teachers I have ever met. Like they're so passionate about their craft that they just, and it's not like in a proselytizing way. I'm talking about like if someone asks a question on one of the Facebook groups that I'm a part of, you're going to get like at least 10 very different answers. Like no two people are the same. We're all just unique individuals and we love each other for our uniqueness. I love the witchy community, really do. Number 8, how do you envision your craft evolving positively in the future? So if I look at myself and I envision myself in the future as a witch, I am working probably with a group of women. It's not anything sexist. I don't have a problem working with men. It's just I feel something very connective about being around women, especially after being in the Army for 10 years, where one time I was literally the only woman in a tent full of 50 smelly, disgusting men. And we were literally like sleeping shoulder to shoulder. So I like having girl time now. I need girl time now. Anyway, sorry if that's cringy, but that's the reality of it. So I see myself working with a group of women, and our families, like hanging out together too. Celebrating the Sabbats, the Esbats, eating together, doing spells for and with each other, lifting each other up. I see myself being a part of a physical community in the future, probably the near future. I am actually working on something right now. I think that that's a normal thing for a lot of us to want at this moment, especially being social distance. And I feel as though we're all want to, even a lot of the solitary practitioners that I've seen online in the Facebook groups are even being like, no, we gotta get back together a little bit. So just being able to get back to that. I don't necessarily see myself being a leader of a circle or a coven or anything like that, but I want it to be more of a team environment, more of a co-op of magic of sorts, if that makes sense. Like a very small group of people just all lifting each other up, and that's what I want to be a part of. So number 9 is, how do you keep your witchcraft practice healthy, happy, and productive? I feel like this is 3 questions in one, but I'm going to try to answer it all as one. I really only do spell work or ritual when I need to. If I do not feel like celebrating an Esbat, new moon, full moon, well, Esbats are full moons, but you know what I mean. If I am not all into, like, Ostara. Originally, I had huge plans for Ostara, and then it just fell by the wayside. Like, I think that was when we had COVID, so it wasn't the best time. I don't force myself to do any sort of practice. If I need to do it, and if I want to do it, then I do. Question number 10. What is one piece of advice you would share with other witches to help them make their path more positive? So I did an entire video on this as well. I didn't come up with any of these other video ideas before seeing this tag. I just have so many videos that actually relate to this, and I don't really have that many videos, but either way they relate to this. I'll link that video up here, and that's basically like questions to ask yourself if you're a new witch. But the one piece of advice that I would give to new witches to put them on a positive path, again, would be just to not force anything. Work at your own pace, do what you love. If you're not into crystals, don't go waste your money on crystals. If you don't want to journal or do a book of shadows or a grimoire, you don't have to do one. Like, I have a digital grimoire where because I have to like keep a log of all of the tools that I have, but that's it. And then I like plan out my spells, but it's not in any sort of like journal format. Don't force anything that you don't want to do. I am not interested in astrology. I like the moon, I like the lunar phases, I follow like roughly astrology, but I do not get into the weeds of it. If it's not something that is aligning with what makes you happy, with your like divine purpose, don't waste your time on it. You don't have to. You don't need a familiar. You don't need to do tarot. You don't need to know the runes. You don't need to do the practice that is specific to your ancestral path. Don't force anything. Just do what makes you happy. Now, does that mean that you should stay in your safe space? No. Definitely challenge yourself. Try new things, but you don't have to like keep going with it once you've tried it. You don't have to keep doing it if you don't like it. That is this week's video. Again, thank you for coming here today. Comment, share, like, or dislike, that's cool too. But if you dislike, let me know why you dislike it. Somebody disliked one of my videos, and well, not just one, but yeah. But I mean, leave me a comment. Let me know why you didn't like it, because I want to make corrections. I noticed on that recent video that someone disliked, I went back and rewatched it. I'm like, crap, this is bad. But I would still love to have that feedback. I made the video. I may not know why you don't like it. Give me a heads up. Let me do better, okay? Give me a chance to improve. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Do this tag yourself. Like, I tag you. Put it on your Facebook, put it on your Instagram, YouTube, tag me in it. Like, let's talk, let's drive, let's see what's going on. And I hope that you have a magical day.